Assalamu alaikum students. Today we shall learn about reproduction. Reproductions are of two types, asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Mostly in flowers, in plants asexual reproduction occurs. Reproduction means producing new species by the individuals. Reproduction is producing new species by the individuals. Okay, now shall we see what are the two types of reproduction? Asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. In plants, asexual reproduction takes place. The main part of the plant is the flower, which helps in reproduction. The flower consists of, let us take a flower. Okay, the flower consists of a sepal and petal. Sepal is green color, which contains the ovary in which you have the ovules. The sepal also contains style and stigma. Style and stigma. It is the female reproductive part of a flower. Female reproductive part of a flower, which is called gynecium. Gynecium, which contains stigma, style and ovary, which contains ovules, which is female reproductive part of a plant flower. Then the male reproductive part is called andrecium. It contains filaments which are otherwise called stalk. Filament, otherwise called stalk. Okay, and then it contains anther. Anther contains pollen grains. Now, during pollination, the male andrecium and the female gynecium form a fruit. And the ovule in the female gynecium and the pollen grains in the anther form a fruit. Then the other part of the flowers, like the petals, sepals, everything falls off. Now the fruit grows into after reproduction, fruit is formed. It grows to a new plant, because fruit will contain a seed. Every fruit, when you take an apple fruit, it contains a seed, two seeds like this, apple fruit. When you take a mango fruit, a fruit contains the seed. This seed helps to form a new plant. From the seed, bud rises and the bud form a new plant. Okay, so which part of the flower helps in reproduction? The flower of a plant. The flower of a plant helps in reproduction. Okay, the flower contains andrecium and gynecium. Gynecium is the female reproductive part and andrecium is the male reproductive part. Gynecium contains stigma, style and ovary, which contains ovules. Andrecium is the male reproductive part which contains anther, pollen grains and filament. Anther, andrecium and gynecium form a fruit which contains seeds. The fruit, when after reproduction, the fruit forms a new plant. The other part of the flower dies off. Okay. Now the seed is of two types, monocotyledon, dicotyledon. Okay. Now this reproduction is called pollination. Pollination can be as of two types, self-pollination, cross-pollination. Self-pollination occurs in the same plant. The anther, the andrecium and gynecium of the same plant pollinate, but it is very weak. So, cross-pollination is strong. Cross-pollination, there are three types of cross-pollination. Anemophily, hydrophily, entomophily. Anemophily by wind. Hydrophily, cross-pollination by water. Entomophily, cross-pollination by insects. Now, the flowers in the grass the flowers of the grass contains andrecium and gynecium. Now they transfer the andrecium from one grass plant, transfer to another grass plant by means of wind. Wind takes the flowers from one plant to another plant. Now, the andrecium of one flower, one grass, the flower of one grass which contains andrecium pollinates with the flower of another grass which contains gynecium and form new grass. In the same way, flowers of Vallisneria which grows in the water. Vallisneria is a plant which grows in water. The flowers of this plant are transferred by water. Now, the andrecium of one Vallisneria plant combines with the gynecium of another Vallisneria plant and it forms a new plant. Okay. Flowers are mucilaginous covery. They somewhat oily so that they will not get wet. Flowers do not get wet when they flow in water. They are somewhat watery and oily. They float in water and reach to the other plant where reproduction takes place. Pollination takes place. Pollination forms a new plant. Now, some pollination, cross-pollination also are caused by insects which are called entomophily. Example, butterfly. Butterflies come to the flowers to suck the nectar. The food of the butterfly is nectar. Now the nectars are sweet smelling which attracts the butterfly and it sucks the nectar. And now it takes the flower, the butterfly carries the flower from one plant to another plant and cross-pollination takes place. Thus, pollination is of two types, self-pollination, cross-pollination. Self-pollination is among the plants itself, same plant, among the same plant. Same plant. So, self-pollination is weak. Cross-pollination takes place from one plant to another. So, it is strong. andrecium of one flower, one plant, and gynecium of another. So it is strong. So they are strong. Cross-pollination occurs by means of wind, which is called anemophily, water, which is called hydrophily, insects, which are called endophily. Animals, cross-pollination by animals. Good example is grass. Grass is the flowers of grass are very light and powdery. So they are easily carried by the wind. By water, the flowers are watery, and so they don't get wet easily, and then they float in water and reach the other plant. Butterfly carries the flowers to other plants. Okay, so anemophily, wind, hydrophily, water, entomophily by insects, cross-pollination by wind, anemophily by water, hydrophily by insects, entomophily. Okay, next. Now, flowers form fruit. After pollination, flowers form fruits. The fruits will have seed in it. The fruits have the seed in it. Seed. Seed. This is the seed. Okay. Seed in it by a cover. Mango is a fruit which has a seed. This seed are transferred to different places. If the seed falls in the same place, and many seeds in the same place cannot grow into a healthy plant. Many seeds in the same soil cannot form healthy plant. Is not possible. So they scatter, they disperse. For dispersal of seeds, many agents are there like wind, animals and birds, water, etc. Now, dispersal of seeds by wind is called anemochory. Seeds, not flowers. Flowers means anemophily. Now, dispersal of seeds by wind, anemochory. Dispersal of seeds by animals and birds are called zoochory. Zoochory. Water is called hydrochory. Dispersal of seeds by water, hydrochory. Dispersal of flowers by water, hydrophily. Okay. Now, dispersal of seeds by wind. Cotton seed is very small, light, and it has feather-like structure. Have you seen cotton seeds? Small and like feathers. It has very light. It is very light and wing-like structure. So they are carried easily to other places. They occupy that place and form another cotton plant. Zoochory, animals which have hooks like this, and parrots which eat the fruit of the plants, they carry the seeds, and in this, for example, vulture carry the seed in its hook. Parrot eat the fruit, and the seed comes out as excreta, and then the seed travels to another place, and then new plants arise in that place. So dispersal of seeds by animal is called zoochory. Zoochory, hooks, spines. Some animals have furry skins, coats. So these skins, on this skin, some seeds stick to the skins of the animals, and when the animals go to from that place, go from that place to another place. Some seeds fall on that place and a new plant arises there. Okay, so that is dispersal by animals and birds are called zoochory. Example, hooks, spines, skins of animals, and also birds after eating the fruits, the excreta which comes out helps in dispersal of seeds. Now, next is dispersal by water. Water, when a coconut falls in water, coconut is the fiber, mesocarp of the coconut. This is the mesocarp, the middle layer of the coconut. Middle layer of the coconut is fibrous and very light, which carries the coconut seed in the water from one place to another. Okay, so dispersal of seeds or carried by another agent also called autochory. This is explosive. The plant itself explodes, burst. When you take lady's finger, when the lady's finger dries, it bursts like a cracker, and the seeds in it falls in different places and grow as a new plant. Another example is pea. Pea is also an example. Pea, when it dries, it bursts and the seeds fall in different places and grow into a new plant. So dispersal of seeds are caused by wind, or anemochory, animal and birds, zoochory, water, hydrochory. Autochory means explosion by explosion. Example, lady's finger. Example for anemochory is cotton seed. Example for zoochory, excreta of parrot. Then hooks and spines of animals. And water, coconut is a very good example.